All right, what is up, boys and girls? Today we're going to be doing kind of a recap video. A couple, as of now, I think it's like 8 months ago or something, Wholesun pressure washers reached out to me and they sent me out a pressure washer that I tested in a live environment. I used it to detail a Tesla. So I'm gonna link that up here for you guys so you can check that video out. But with that, I never actually tested the actual usable PSI and the actual usable GPM. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. They did send out another one to me, so I don't need this pressure washer. I will be giving this thing away, so make sure you comment down below. Say I want the pressure washer. Again, we just did that Portland giveaway, but we're gonna be doing another one now. It will be the unit that I'm testing, and it will be everything that comes in the box, not the aftermarket hoses or anything like that, but whatever is in the box, you guys will get. I'm just gonna open it up, test it to get those PSI and GPM numbers, and then I'll be giving it away in a week's time. Let's get it to the 250 likes. Last time we got close, but we didn't get there. Still gave it away, but this time let's go ahead and make sure you like the video. If we get 250 likes in the next 7 days, I'll be sending it off to one of you. By the way, here's a pretty rad Ford Raptor that's in the shop for a ceramic coating. So I'm gonna be doing that over the next couple days, getting this thing all squared away. All right, time to go get the machine and open it up and see what we got. Alrighty guys, so here's the box. It says Wholesun right on the front. All right, so first things first, instruction manual right off the bat. It looks like it is, just from the picture I can tell, it's the same unit as it was before. So I'm not really gonna do an unboxing here. If you guys want, go back and check out that other video, actually see it in real life. One thing to mention is it does come with the hose on a reel, which is nice, but this hose is garbage. It's too short and the connection is pretty chintzy. So I don't know, I'm actually, in this video, I'm not even gonna put this thing together. I'm just gonna be using just the unit itself. Hooking up my aftermarket hose that I like, the 50-foot UBERFLEX hose. You'll see that in a minute. It will be linked down below in the description. And one other thing, so the foam cannon that they give us here looks a little bit different than last time. It's just a different canister. It's a little apple shape. But let me just do something real quick. I just want to test and see to make sure that the hose connection, find out if we need an adapter for the UBERFLEX hose or if it fits directly on. So hang on one second, we'll check that out. Now, here are the nozzles that it actually comes with. This is what I'll be testing the unit with right off the bat to see how accurate their pressure ratings and GPM ratings are. I'll be testing it with these. And then we'll probably throw on some other tips and test those out as well. All right, so last time, here's the gun. That's right, I remember that this gun had kind of a weird connection as well. I'm not gonna open it, but just so you guys can see, it's got a little pin system. So you stick this side in and push it closed to hold it in. A little bit, I'm not a fan of that, that's for sure. I'm definitely not a fan of that. That's why I definitely recommend getting the aftermarket hose and pressure washer gun. So last time it was a green unit. This time they sent me a nice blue one. So here it is, and again, I'm not gonna put all the attachments on it. I'm just gonna be running it like this. A couple things to note that I liked about this machine is that the on-off switch is right on the front, and it feels good. Like, it doesn't feel loose or anything like that. It feels like a good little on-off switch. And I love the fact that the hose inlet and then the pressure washer hose are on two opposite sides. Sometimes they're both stacked on the front, and it's a tangled nightmare. So I really like the fact that this one is one on each side. It does have a ground fault interrupt on it with a light indicator to know if it's working or if it's fired up. So anyways, let me go grab my adapter really quickly and try and screw that in. If the adapter fits, then we know it's an M22 by 15 millimeter connection point. If it doesn't fit, we know it's an M22 14, and then the UBERFLEX hose will fit directly onto it. Alrighty, I'm back. I've got the adapter here to test out. And also, guys, look how good this thing looks. The UBERFLEX hose, the 50-foot with the aftermarket pressure washer gun, paired up with this pressure washer, you have a pretty sweet looking little unit. Nice color coordinated unit. So let's check this out. Yeah, it's an M22 by 15 millimeter. So you definitely want to get the adapter. I'm gonna have that link down in the description below as well. If you don't have that, it probably will leak because the gap inside will be too big. So just keep that in mind. Let me just grab the nozzles and let's go test this thing out. All right guys, so I've got the unit. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right down there. It's all hooked up to water and plugged in. I hooked up my 50 foot UBERFLEX hose. Just real quick, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, the reason I like these is because they're so flexible. They don't get tangled up like other ones do, and they don't kink. So really highly recommend these things. You can either get the blue UBERFLEX or you can get the green FlexZilla. Both of them will be linked below. All right guys, so for the video, we're gonna be hooking up the pressure gauge in line. So from the hose to the pressure gauge, from the pressure gauge to the gun, and we'll be good to go that way. Let me go ahead and turn. And just run this for a minute and get the air bubbles out of the line. All right, seems good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the tips. And it looks like they give us a 15, they give us a 15, a 25, a 40, and a 0 for, for your heavy cleaning stuff. So let's pop these open. I will test the GPM on some of these, depending. If they all come out with the same amount of PSI, that means it means that they all have the same orifice size. In which case I only need to check the GPM once, but we'll check them all with the PSI right now so we can get a good idea. All right, number one is 0 degree nozzle. This should produce the most PSI. If they are different, go ahead and fire it on. As you can hear, it has the total stop system. You fire it up, it builds pressure, and then it goes quiet. So there's still a little bit of air in the line. Just hang on a second. All right, so this pressure washer says that it is rated at 3000 PSI. Here's the number that I'm getting with the 0 degree nozzle. Pretty let down. Sitting at about 1150 PSI with the 0 degree nozzle. Now, I do have to say that the pump sounds good. The pressure washer is nice and quiet. I'm leaking at my actual hose bib from that side, not the pressure washer. But anyways, let's go ahead and go to the 15 degree nozzle. Exact same PSI at 1150. 25 degree nozzle, just to double check all these. Same deal. And the 40 degree nozzle. So let's go ahead and test this real quick. So exact same numbers all the way through, which tells me that all these tips have the exact same orifice size. So we'll test it with the, test the actual GPM of this, because it feels powerful. Like, it feels like a good machine. That number is very, very low compared to the 3000 that they're rating it at. But I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see here. I'm gonna hook up another. Actually, let's go ahead and check the GPM on this first. Because they're all getting the same PSI numbers, I only need to check the GPM on one of them. They're all the same orifice size, they're all the same amount of PSI, and which will have the same gallons per minute flow as well. So let's check that, see what this gets, and then I'll try on some other tips and see if we can get the pressure up and see where we're at. All right guys, so as usual, let me scroll you down. We've got the measuring bucket here. I'm gonna put the nozzle in, fire it on for 1 minute, stop the machine, measure out the water, and then we'll know exactly what our gallons per minute rating is. All right guys, so here is the stopwatch. Put it right at the bottom, put the gun in, and here we go. Alrighty. Water flow looks okay. It's not anything to write home about really, but we are at basically 5.5 liters. Liters? What am I looking at here? Oh, sorry, 5.5 quarts. There we go. All right, so there we are. We're sitting at 1.375 GPM. So 1.375 gallons per minute. I don't know what this is actually listed as. I'm gonna go ahead and check that for you guys real quick. Alrighty guys, so I actually just looked it up on Amazon. I'll try and put it here for you guys as well, but they're listing this pressure washer at 3000 PSI, 2.4 GPM. It's nowhere near those numbers. I really didn't expect it to be perfectly honest with you. It feels good. I think in my original video, I thought it would be around 1500 PSI at 1.5 GPM or something like that. So my assumption on the GPM wasn't too far off, but the PSI is still a bit low. 1100 PSI at basically 1.4 GPM. Still totally fine for detailing your car. It still feels nice and powerful, so around the house it's gonna work well. It's a good little machine. It's nice and quiet, it's compact. The motor sounds really good. So all of that's great. Now, them listing at those numbers, you know, that it's obviously not those numbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a couple other tips right now and see if I can get the PSI up. Basically, I'm gonna throw on a Ryobi 15-degree nozzle. That's like the smallest orifice size that I've found that always produces the highest PSI. So we'll throw that on there and see what this thing gets to, and then we'll wrap this one up. Alrighty guys, so I've got the Ryobi tip here. I don't know what the orifice size is on this thing. I just know that it's smaller than most. So I will link this down in the description below as well. Go ahead and pop that on there, and let's check it. Yeah, much more like it. Now we are running at 1700 PSI. Sorry, let me go ahead and show you right there. So with the Ryobi nozzle, 15-degree nozzle, with the smaller orifice size, we're getting 1700 PSI. All right guys, so as I was trying to test the GPM, it started making some, it started kind of wavering, and now I'm testing it again. And it's cutting out like the active VE52 did on me. I think that the orifice size on this nozzle is just too small. It's overloading the machine. So I think I have some 2.0 nozzles. I'm gonna try that, see what the PSI is in that, and maybe we'll get to know what this actually is. I don't have 2.0 nozzles, I have 2.5s, but we'll test that. All right, I'm back. This is a 2.5 15-degree nozzle. Let's test this. And we're sitting at 1150, so apparently 2.5 is what they ship this thing out with. Again, you're only getting 1100 PSI, or 1150 PSI at basically just under 1.4 GPM. So still totally viable. It's a great little machine. Like I said, it sounds good. It's nice and compact, cool colors that it comes in. So yeah, I think that's it guys for me. So for me, if you're gonna be buying a pressure washer specifically for washing your car or car detailing, I would definitely recommend the active VE52, VE51, or the Cat machine. Or if you're in Canada, Simonize is the same thing. Active actually makes that. They also make the Cat machine, that's why I'm recommending it. So keep that in mind for those. If you're doing it around the house, I actually prefer, it's hard to say, I really like the Ryobi units. The 1600 PSI is probably the best value that I've found. It's rated at 1600 PSI, 1.2 GPM, and it's $100. However, there are times, however, when you actually test the actual usable PSI, it runs at like 1800 PSI, which is the same across the board between the 1600, 1800, 1900, and 2000 PSI units from Ryobi. So if you don't mind it not having wheels and all the bells and whistles that come with it, I definitely recommend getting that Ryobi 1600 PSI and then getting the hose, the UBERFLEX hose to upgrade your unit. It's a direct fit. You don't have to get an adapter for that one. Or if you just want to order something easy on Amazon, get this Wholesun. It's a great little machine. It sounds good. It's totally viable for around the house and for the car. Just keep in mind that if you go to a smaller orifice nozzle size, it may act up. Let me try again now that it... Oh wait, my bad. This is the 2.5 nozzle. All right, so back to the Ryobi nozzle. Let's see how it performs. Yeah, it's still doing it. So anyways, guys, I hope that helps you. Again, I'm gonna be giving this machine away, so make sure you like, comment down below that you want the pressure washer. 250 likes and this thing's going out to one of you guys. So hope that helps. We will see you guys on the next one.